Hi and welcome to week 5 of 75 books. I am Callie and this is Kapowski Reads. I'm going to start this video by telling you what I am reading. These are the books that I have carried over from last week and I'm gonna finish this week. Then we'll move on to new books. First up is The Starless Sea. This is a reread for me. It's by Erin Morgenstern. I did read a little bit this morning after I went for a morning walk and I've got about 30 pages left of this book. So it's getting finished probably after work today. This is a glorious fantasy story where we have a main character called Zachary who just finds this book in his university library. And it's a book of fairy tales and suddenly he realizes one of these stories tells of an instance in his own childhood. He is in this book. He doesn't know why he's in this book, but he is. This is a weird book because it's not registered anywhere, there's no author, it's just come from nowhere. And he decides to look into this, to get to the bottom of where this book came from and why he is in this book. And he discovers these organisations who are basically keepers of these wild and wonderful books. They have this labyrinth that is underground, filled with books, filled with cats, filled with seas made of honey. And there's also an alternate society who want to destroy all of these secrets. It's wild. Every so often there is a book within a book which tells us one of these fantasy stories, and it's just so immersive and it's so fun and it's just whimsical and the writing's beautiful. I'm now at the 30 pages from the end. There has been some romance. I'm not here for that so much. I don't hate it, I just don't buy it, but I'm here for like the fun magical story. I have not been having the best time with fantasy over the last, year, but I have been finding when I reread fantasy books that I already enjoy, I have a great time and I'm having a great time. I will finish this. I'm in the office tomorrow, so I will not update you tomorrow because I won't be home till pretty late. So I will update you. I don't know why I'm telling you this. It will be right next. It'll be next, but in my time, it will not be next. Anyway, next book is The Intrigue by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I am reading this as an advanced reader's copy from NetGalley. I am currently starting at 14 or 15% into the book. So far, we're just getting to know the characters, and that's fine. This is a historical story. Historical. It takes place in 1940s, which is historical, but historical can just mean so much right now. It is a 1940s story set in Mexico. We have what I'm going to describe as a con artist, and the author describes him that way too. His name is Ulysses and he just goes around conning single women via Lonely Hearts columns, and he's found his new mark. Her name is Perla. She is an heiress to a sort of coffee dynasty almost, and he has just arrived at her abode. She has this property where she loans out rooms, and he has shown up. He's going to stay for a couple of weeks, during which time I think he wants to con the lady, but there's something about her. She's hiding something, and she is not this foolish spinster character that he seems to think she is. She is savvy, and I'm really looking forward to finding out what's going to happen next. I'm loving the writing and I'm really, really intrigued, which I think it's so good that this book is called The Intrigue because I'm intrigued. I will be back with updates, mainly about the Starless Sea, because I'm going to finish that and then come back. I don't know how much I'm going to read of The Intrigue because I'm going to read it later today. I'm rambling. I'll be back. I have the fan on right now, so I hope that that's not making everything too noisy. It's still hot. I have finished reading The Starless Sea. I really, really enjoyed this book. I think if I don't tend to give ratings to books that I've already read before, unless I'm going up the way. So I think if I were to rate this book my second read around, I'd probably give it a 4-star. First time I gave it 5. And I did really, really like it. I just didn't love it with my full soul like I did the first time. And that's absolutely a-okay. People change over, like, it's been 6 years. I really enjoyed this. I love the fantastical elements of this. It is a very, very whimsical fantasy story, and you do have to suspend belief a little bit, and that's okay. I can easily do that. Happy to. I did not love the characters as much as I loved the plot. So the characters, we do have Zachary, Ezra, Rollins. He is fine as a character, but he is a little bit dull. And that's okay because everything going on around him is very exciting. And the rest of the characters, we don't even know their real names. We just know the names that they go by. And they are much more interesting than our protagonist. And I kind of want you to know a little bit more about Max and about Dorian. Like, these are not their real names, but I want to know more about them, especially Dorian. I felt like I barely knew him. I really liked the way that this book wove the fairy tale stories from this fictional book into the fictional book. I really like a book within a book. I thought the writing was beautiful, very lyrical, very visual. Like, I was going to say if I closed my eyes I could see it, but that's kind of how I read every book. Every book is a little film happening in my brain. But definitely for this, I could definitely see it. It felt like a sort of a love letter to literature, to a love of books and a love of whimsy. And I had a really good time with it, a really fun time. I didn't love the romance element of this book. I think I'd kind of forgotten about that first time around. Insta-love is never something that I am usually a fan of. And I feel like the romance in this, it came from nowhere. And I think that if there was just a little moment where the characters were like, you know, they're really hot, I could buy it. But there hadn't been any sort of attraction, really. It wasn't being peppered throughout the book. It was just suddenly love. And that felt a little bit too much, too soon. But I'll go with that. The book was weird and wonderful. So if I've got an insta love story, sure, I can go with that. There's lots of other weird and wonderful things happening. I can believe that. I wanted to tell you what the next book I'm going to be reading is, because I already know what I'm going to bring in after this. The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbery. The reason I'm picking this book is because when I was reading Welcome to the Hunam Dong bookshop, this book was mentioned, and I thought, well, if ever there was a sign, surely it is that. This book is a book that focuses on the relationship between a hotel concierge at a very prestigious, well, she's not a hotel concierge, it's an apartment building in Paris, and she is the concierge, and she forms a friendship with a very, very intelligent young girl, and I believe a murder happens and they have to look into it. I'm going with that. I bought this book right at the beginning of, like, when I started BookTube. I think my first ever book haul featured this book. I don't do a lot of book hauls, or at least I don't think I do. And this book was in it and I haven't read it. So we're talking, I don't know how many years. When did I start BookTube? I checked. Late 2021. So November 2021 is when I started BookTube. So I would have bought this book, I'm going to guess maybe 2022. So I think it's definitely time for a read. And I'm going to go do that. A very, very quick update. I've been out on a walk. It's sweaty weather again. I went for a university walk and I took my book with me, The Elegance of the Hedgehog, and I've decided I'm going to DNF this book. I'm not enjoying it. I don't hate it. It's just, I have no interest in it. And after what I went through with Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, I don't want to force myself to read books that I don't want to read. And I think I need to remind myself of that all the time, is that I don't want to read books I don't want to read. So why would I? I have made it to about 100 pages into this book, about a third. I'm not feeling anything for the characters. I'm not drawn in by the plot. I'm kind of at a point where I don't care about what's happening. And yeah, I'm going to DNF. I don't want to ruin the week for myself because I'm currently really enjoying reading Intrigue, and I will give you an update on that actually. I'm currently over halfway through Intrigue, loving it, having a great time. We have the main character, Ulysses. He is a lonely heart scammer, and he's found his mark in Petra, who is the heiress to this coffee fortune, and he has rocked up to her guest house to seduce her and convince her to give him her money. And she has a niece called Inez, and I really like Inez. Inez is basically treated like some sort of Cinderella character. She has to work in the guest house. She has to do everything for her aunt. Her aunt can't even run her own bath. Inez has to do everything for her. And Petra is just cruel. She is this cruel woman. And I kind of quite like the way that Petra is not overly likable. So you're not rooting for the scammer to fail. I'm kind of rooting for the scammer to win, because she is cruel to Inez, but she is also exploitative, and she has done some shady things that I kind of want her to get what's coming to her. But I have like 35% left of this book. I'm going to finish it, and I'm just feeling really good. I'm feeling like I have not been loving the last few Silvia Moreno Garcia books that I have read. I liked Silver Nitrate, and I enjoyed Velvet Was the Night, but they were sort of going down from the 5 stars I previously had. Like, I loved The Beautiful Ones, I loved Gods of Jade and Shadow, I loved Mexican Gothic, but I didn't love The Daughter of Dr. Moreau. I did not like at all The Seven Veils of Salome, and I hated Bewitched. So I'm glad to be back. Back in the Silvia Moreno Garcia yay camp. I'll be back with my update on the book when I finished it. I am ending this video on a high. I know I was feeling a little down because I had my DNF. However, I had an amazing time with Intrigue. Oh, it's like a 4 and a bit stars for me. So we're back. Silvia Moreno Garcia and I. We're back. Best pals. We're not best pals, but like, we're back, and I'm so happy. This book did not end the way that I thought it was going to, which I'm so glad for. We're keeping on a trend, Silvia Moreno Garcia and I, where I never guessed what the plot twist is. And there was a plot twist, but it was so early on that I was like, well, we can't have that. Like, there's so much book left. And there were more twists, and I didn't see them coming. I had such a fun time. This book is so atmospheric. It takes place in Mexico, and it takes place in this little village where it's hot, much like it is now. In Aberdeen, although I'm guessing it's way hotter in Mexico. It's so hot, it's so drizzly and rainy, and that really reflects like the emotions of the characters. Each of the characters are in some sort of prison, some of their own making, others of circumstance, which are completely out with their own control, and everybody is looking for freedom, for escape. I loved the characters. They were flawed, but they felt so well-rounded, and I knew who I wanted to root for. I knew who I wanted to root against. I felt really invested for the characters. I felt invested in their schemes. I'm not saying I agreed with what they were doing, but I wanted for them. This book was just so atmospheric. There was so much tension, and I was like, what's gonna happen? I didn't know what was gonna happen, and I wanted to read this. I wanted to pick this up, and I think that is how a book should be. I should want to read it. I should be just invested in the characters and the story, and I had so much fun with this one. And I am so happy to be enjoying Silvia Moreno Garcia again. It's been a while, but we are back. This was, if you've read Silvia Moreno Garcia before, yes, I do keep full naming her. There are some names that just feel they should be full named. Then you might expect this to maybe have a little bit of like magical realism in it, but it doesn't. I saw somebody describe this as a historical fiction book, and it is and it's not. It's more of a noir. So it's got that sort of like World War II era-ish kind of bleakness. You've got your femme fatale character, you've got your secrecy, the paranoia, the sort of like a hero that is not a villain, but like I suppose an anti-hero is the best way to describe them. And this, yeah, really, really enjoyed this. And I'm going to end the video here. It is not the end of the week. However, next week is Summerween. I'm at a natural end point in my reading, so it makes sense. End it now, have an extra day for Summerween. I would love to know if you read any of these books. If not, let me know what you've been reading. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!